channel. So I'm going to continue on today with my e.l.f. bite-size palettes, and mostly using e.l.f. The only two things of e.l.f. I ain't going to use is this translucent powder because I hate it, and this plumping gloss because it hurts like a bitch. This powder, I just don't like it. It makes me look like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but it's mostly about these. So this one today is cream and sugar. I've just done all my skincare. So this is what the palette looks like, but we'll come back to it. I've just been watching 10 Years Younger in 10 days, and I could have literally cried because I understand exactly how the lady feels. The only difference is that she actually does have a nice figure and I'm just a fat lump that does nothing about it. But anyway, we won't dwell on that. Let's move on. So I've tried all of the putty primers now, so I think I'm going to go for the Luminous one because we all love a bit of luminosity, don't we? Friday again, people. Madness. The weeks are just flying on in. I just do not know where the time is going. It's going by so quickly. So I think we are supposed to be back in college and be able to go into the college on the 26th of April. So after the 2-week Easter holidays, which is going to be weird, and I have mixed feelings about it because, well, I just get so used to, obviously I know things have to go back to normal at some point, but the way my anxiety and everything works, I'm actually quite happy to be just doing the stuff at home. But there you go. So I have used the Luminous Putty Primer. Let me have a look at what is going on with this ring light 1 minute. It's too dark without it, but I think it needs to go down a level or two so that we aren't glaring away. Okay, so I've got one more palette of the bite-size palettes to use after this one, and then I'm finished with them. I don't have all of them, but some of them, they weren't really what I was wanting. So we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation in the shade Snow. I picked this up from everything e.l.f. I picked up from Superdrug. So it wasn't that easy to pick like the colours of the foundation and stuff. My little doll beauty mirror that I got in the, was it January? Was it January? January mystery box that I wasn't like overly fussed about getting, but then it's come in quite handy actually. So I'm using the Body Shop Foundation buffing brush. This is such a good brush. If you're not new to my channel, I normally always use my number 7 sponge, but I've been loving just using a brush. I still love my sponges, I just haven't really been using them as much. Got a bit of a white cast there from the low dry shampoo. I thought I'd put my hair kind of not even half up, but just a bit of it, because it seems to be nice as well. So what's everyone's plans for the weekend? It is currently, as I'm filming this, March the, is it the 19th today? It's either the 18th or the 19th of March. And I have no plans. I'm all up to date with my college work. I've just got one more face painting to do and add that to the presentation, and I have got some maths to do, and then a freestyle hairstyle, but I've got till next Wednesday to do that. Okay, so let that settle in. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe to do my brows. I can see a few more Seriously, you pluck them and then they come back as quick as they go away. It's just madness. Oh, my back is hurting today. I think I've got a little touch of carpal tunnel or something, because when I'm like when I was lying in bed last night reading my Kindle, so this is me with the Kindle, I'm using this arm just to click the thing with the page, but then I get this shooting pain in my elbow and it goes into my wrist and then I have to stop reading. And I was looking it up and it was saying that, I mean, it went a couple of times when I was in my old job. I used to get like some shooting pains in my hands and pins and needles, like even if I was sitting using the rotary iron. So the rotary iron movement is just holding it like that and feeding it through, and then I'd get the shooting pains. But they were saying because it's a repetitive thing. I don't know, but it was so frustrating because, like, you know, you want to get into the book and relax in your bed and read it. There's never a dull moment. I still don't know how to really do my brows and stuff. I just don't know. Like, I don't know whether I should draw like little hairs in there to match it, or this is I just don't really bother with them. And they don't match anyway, my brows, they just don't. Okay, so that is the Zabrals. I'm not sure if I like these concealers. I can't decide. So I've got the Hydrating Camo Satin Finish one, and I've also got the matte one. I'm going to use some of the hydrating one at the moment. And I'm going to just, because this is more of a pinky toned, I'm going to use it as like a colour correcting step. And over there, and the redness before I do anything else. Now, normally I'd use my sponge for that as well, but I don't even have my sponge through here with me since I've washed them. Just because I haven't been using them, really. And I've heard it, I never carve out my brows or anything, by the way. You're like, yeah, we noticed. I just don't know how I feel about it. It's almost like it's sitting in my skin and not in a nice way. Okay, let's put that brush in there. Because, like, I've got this Benefit Boing Concealer in the shade 2. And it's a lot thicker. And yet it seems to sit nicer. I don't know what it is with this one, but it sticks to everything and it's just not blending in right. I'm going to go back to my foundation brush that I used. You know that this is probably going to end up being a long video. Maybe if I didn't chat so much. It's like it's sitting here in there and it's not at all for it being hydrating. It is just not playing the game. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all, actually. What do you guys think? Have you used these e.l.f. concealers? Have you had any issues? And I'm not going to use that powder. I'm going to use this Too Faced one that I have. And a little small brush. I'm trying not to talk too much so that you're not here for a million years. Okay, right, let's move on to the shadows itself. So the bite-size palette we're using today is Cream and Sugar. This is what it looks like. You've got the two matte shades and then the two shimmers. So let's just crack on. Take this smaller brush. Pop it on the lids. This is pretty much skin toned, I would say, this colour, because it's not really showing up on my skin. I'm going to put that at the side of me here. There was something in your voice that could stand me. Don't be too sure. If these little palettes had been around back in the day, then these probably would have been the type of things that I would have used on the regular, when I just used to buy the little compacts with the little sponges and like nothing else. So that probably would have been fandobulous. See, this is what I mean, like the only thing is that to me is like an all over shade, and then this is like proper straight in with like the outer corner and smoking. Oh, I have such an itchy nose. Means I'm gonna get angry. So I think I need another small-ish brush, and I'm going to go into that brown, and then I'm just going to, because they're really quite pigmented as well, I'm just going to slowly build it up. I'm just kind of placing it now and not, you know, blending. What do you think to Lawrence Chaney winning the UK Drag Race? I personally wanted Bimini to win. Now it's going to be a bit patchy on that old bit there, so we'll just have to build it up, I think, slowly. But yeah, I really wanted Bimini to win. I just think that's who should have won. I know I'm from Glasgow originally, and I know I'm Scottish and all that jazz, and I'm going to college in Dundee and stuff, and I was rooting for the two Scottish queens, but I just don't think they were the winners of it, to be honest. Queen. I'm finding, I'm going to sit right back in this wall because my back is hunting me. I'm finding that this is pretty patchy, this brown shade. Actually, let's see what is going on with it. It's right in that corner there. Or maybe it's just the way my eyesight and stuff is working with it. I'm going to leave it at that on that side now and make me work to the other eyeball. And I'm just going to again place it first of all on that outer edge, and then take it up into like my crease, and then blend it. Still, so far, my favourite one of the palette that I have used is the Rose Water, which was the second video that I did. I can't wait for you to see that one. By the time you see this, you will have seen that one. So, I'm like, what do I do with my eye? I know it's probably not a good idea to wear one of your kind of favourite tops that's got white in it, and then you doing all that? Are you all excited for all the hairdressers and all that opening? Are you all be rushing out the door to it? I won't be rushing out the door to it because I don't have the money anyway, but I still can't decide what to do with my hair. Whether to just leave it and embrace the natural red that's coming in and see how I feel with all of my natural colour, or whether to sort of just go back to that blonde. Sorry guys, I keep picking that mirror up there. I'm just messing about with these shadows. But I'm trying not to make this video as long as all my other ones. I can't help it because I just... My problem is I use OneNote. Is it OneNote it's called? Or OneTouch, whatever it is anyway. But see, when it comes to trying to cut bits out, I'm scared that I'm going to cut out the wrong bits and then ruin the whole thing. That's the part of the editing that puts me off the most, is that when it says cut it here, it seems to jump to the bit that I don't want to cut out. So then I don't want to be like, oh my god, I filmed all that video and then one little edit and slip up, you know what I mean? So I'm just... It's just frustrating. Which is why, to be honest, I just think to myself, like, I've been pretty happy that I'm able to add in little gifts and maybe the odd bit of music or something. But even then, I don't know how to fade in and out of the song to make sure that you can still hear me, even with the music sort of going. So, I don't know. Right, we need another blending brush. Just to give this a bit of a blend. Let's just soften it. This one seems a lot messier than that one as usual. Story of my life. I'm getting frustrated with this. Okay, so I'm going to move on to this shade of the lid colour, and I'm just going to use my finger. It's like a coppery, bronzy sort of colour. And I'm going to place that here. And then we'll put the lighter one of the shimmers in the other section of the eye. And as per usual, one eye I prefer to the other. Right, I'm going to go in now with the other colour, which is the lighter sort of champagne-y one, and we're just going to press that in to the inner corner there. Now remember that I do suffer with eczema and a bit of texture, so if it doesn't sit perfectly, that ain't necessarily the shadows. It could be just the texture of my eye. This is beautiful. It's starting to come together. We've come together. Look at that. I really like that actually. See, sometimes you just got to trust the process. Okay, now I don't have a mascara, so I'm just going to use this little Chanel one to pop it on. Oh, it's very gloopy, this one. Excuse me. My heart is so, so true. Do not ask me why I am singing that song. I think this brings out the colour of my eyes nicely, this sort of look. Okay, and I don't have a bronzer, so I'm going to have to, I've got my short moustache there. I'm going to have to go in with this Maniac, which I don't love because for whatever reason, even if I go, I'm just going to lightly go into it, it just comes up crazy. Like, look, I'm just lightly thinking it over my skin because it still seems to go crazy. And just pick that where the sun would naturally hit. Blend it all in. I love to take bronzer over my nose. And then I'm just using what's left on it. Just on the 40 chins. Okie dokie then, and then for blush, I'm going to use the Turks and Carillo, or what have you. And I'm just going to take it on my finger. I've seen a lot of people doing their blushes these days from up here as well. So I'm like, maybe I should start doing that. This Putty Blush is, I don't know, it's different, isn't it? This is the only colour I've got because I didn't want to go too mad on my e.l.f. order, but I would maybe pick up a couple more of them, but this was the one that I thought was best. I'm just going to take that brush that I had the thing on and just sort of blend it out a wee bit. And then I don't have a highlighter here actually from it, so I'm going to use the highlighter as well that's in the Tarte. I do have a highlighter, but it's in that mini face palette that I've, for whatever reason, leave through there. So this is just one of the Tarte highlighters. Whoa, that is blinding. Oh, it smells like mini eggs. I got this palette for one of my Christmases. Okie dokie then, and I think that is it, is it? I'm just having a look to see. We just need a bit of a stretching spray, so I'm going to use this little cute little Urban Decay All-Nighter. Just to, and then for lips, I'm just going to pop on one of these colour glosses that I've got there. Because that plumping gloss, I don't like it. And I'm done. What do you think? I think actually it turned out okay. Better than I thought it would. It's between the Rose Water palette and that one there, the sugar. What was it? Cream and Sugar. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, click the bell to be notified of when I upload. I will leave in the iCard for you the other e.l.f. videos that I have done in this series. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Bye.